a mouthpiece for veterinary medical students in Nigeria. And also we stand to protect the interests and welfare of veterinary medical students, as long as making sure that we educate our members through webinars, through presentations and outreaches, especially commemoration of health-based and science-based days. So basically, that's just all from NEVMS, and I'm really happy to be here to learn, and I'm here to interact as well. Thank you very much.
To give us just see what Ebenezer quickly gets down to business.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, can you hear me? Good afternoon.
IVSA president, are you secretary?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's my network. So
yeah,
good afternoon, everyone.
You have just exactly 2 minutes.
All right, ma. So Abubakar Abdumiz Abiola, exceptional level student from the University of Ilorin. Actually represents my president, Dr. Abiodun Samuel. Is unavoidably present in this meeting due to one or two things. So I'll be giving us a brief about IVSA. IVSA simply means International Veterinary Students Association, and it is one of the largest, or in fact, let me say, it's the largest veterinary student association in the world. And basically, what we do is we aim to, improve the standard of veterinary education internationally through the exchange of ideas, knowledge, and culture. And usually, we achieve this through a lot of platforms that's been in place. Like, for example, through congress and symposium, where we have students all over the world. That is in case of global congresses, and at the same time for symposia. We also achieve this through exchange programs between our members. And basically, our exchange program is a program where you have students from various faculties coming together to exchange ideas, culture, and knowledge. And we do this locally and internationally. Just this our present administration, we've had a lot of exchanges with different countries across the world, Brazil, USA, Sweden, and the likes of them. And also, we also make sure that we assist our local chapters with their projects in one way or the other. And another thing that is very unique about IVSA is that there are a lot of educational opportunities. Like, for example, being an IVSA member give one a
Sorry
leverage.
to cut you in. Please, can you turn on your camera?
Okay, ma.
Thank you. Okay.
So I was saying
you have just a minute. You have just a minute to go.
Okay, I'll round up, ma.
All right.
So one of the things we also do is to provide educational opportunities for our members, because there are some opportunities out there that usually require one to be an IVSA member. Like a lot of our students, like IVSA members, some of them, like for example, a recipient of AMBOSS scholarship, in which for you to participate, you have to be an IVSA member. And there are a lot of other scholarship out there in which it is required of one to, be an IVSA member. And also we get support from the IVSA Global at the same time. In recent time, like 5 of our MOs, we have 11 MOs generally. 5 of our MOs won a scholarship of about, I think, 600 euros for animal welfareism. So these are like the benefits of being part of IVSA in Nigeria. And I would like to mention that the major difference between IVSA and NAVMS is just that for NAVMS, once you are a veterinary student, you are automatically an AVMS site, but it's not like that for IVSA. For IVSA, you have to go through the registration process and all before your name will be sent down to IVSA Global, then you be confirmed an IVSA member. So I think I've exhausted my time already, so I'd like to stop there.
Yes,
Thank you, Mom.
you have. All right, thank you for that brief but yet explanatory, explicit introduction. So the next on the agenda, and okay, permit me to welcome our guest mentor. She just joined. You're welcome, Ma. If you can hear me, thank you so much for sparing out time from your very busy schedule to be here with us today. Because even me today, for today I'm a mentee. I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to join the league and just learn as much as I can. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shamsia.
Yes, ma'am. So briefly, I'll be reading out the citation of our guest mentor in person of AIG, Aishatu Abubakar Baju. AIG Aishatu Abubakar Baju was born on the 10th of July, 1970 to the humble family of late Alhaji A. Bakundoni and Hajia Fatima in Gumbi, Adamawa State. For her education, she attended Gumbi Primary School between 1975 and 1981, and Government Science Secondary School Hong between 1981 and 1986, both in Adamawa, both in Adamawa State before proceeding to the prestigious Ahmadu Bello University Zaria for her IGMB and Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree between 1987 and 1994. She obtained her doctorate degree from the University of Plymouth in the United Kingdom in 2007, where she worked on the molecular epidemiology of bovine and human tuberculosis. AIG Aishatu has just concluded another master's degree in security and strategic studies at the Nasarawa State University. Her working career and experience. On graduation from ABU Zaria, Dr. Aishatu Abubakar Baju did her national service with the Nigerian Police Force from 1994 to 1995, where she got over her fear for the police and fell in love with her job. Thereafter, joined the force immediately the same year as the Assistant Superintendent of Police. She got her initial police training at the Police College Ikeja, Lagos, and rose to her present enviable rank of Substantive Assistant Inspector General of Police in July 2020. She served in the Presidential Villa between 1996 to 2001 and also 2007 to 2015, where she established the present State House Veterinary Medical Center from the scratch. She also served in Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna State Commands at different times. She was posted back to the force headquarters, Abuja, in September as the Commissioner of Police in charge of the K9 section of the Nigerian Police Force. It took her less than a year to completely overhaul the entire section of the force and successfully establish an ultra-modern police dog breeding center in Abuja, first of its kind in the entire West African region. Wow. In September 2016, following routine deployment of senior police officers, she was posted to oversee the entire 19 northern states as the Commissioner of Police in charge of Force Animal Branch. She was then posted back to Force Headquarters as head of the Force Animal Branch, Nigerian Police Force, the position she currently occupies. As an academic enthusiast and a professional par excellence, she is also a visiting lecturer at the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria. She has her credit, she has to her credit numerous international and national scholarly publications and supervising postgraduate students. She is currently the president of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. the first female to occupy this position. So I'm going to list out a few of her courses, professional courses, junior command course at the Police Staff College, intermediate command course, internal security joint exercise at the Command and Staff College, Baju, high-level management course at the Center of Excellence, Stability Police Unit, Vicenza, Italy, strategic leadership taught and process training for armed services at Arica, Dubai, and strengthening the capacity of Nigerian police in forensic investigation, South Korea, in the year 2019. Veterinary courses, wildlife telemetric collaring, North Carolina Zoo in the United States of America, wildlife conservation medicine, South Africa, 2012, training and enrichment workshop for zoo animals, Oakland Zoo, California, USA, wildlife chemical immobilization course, University of Pretoria, South Africa, postgraduate international management course, their role in lung health system, Paris, France. Human resource management workshop for sustained results, Center for Management Development, Lagos, Nigeria. Risk assessment and management course, University of Plymouth. And techniques in molecular biology, nucleic acid and genomics, University of Hertfordshire, UK, 2005. These are her awards. Award of Excellence by the Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, and this is as a result of her hard work and intelligence. Her PhD research work on the molecular epidemiology of human and bovine tuberculosis. She was among the women in the world who won the UNESCO L'Oreal Fellowship Award for Young Women in Science in the year 2005. So these are all some of the awards. Role Model of the Veterinary Profession in Nigeria by the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Nsukka, Nigeria. Award of Excellence by the Nigerian Association of Veterinary Medical Students, University of Ibadan, 2012. Award of Excellence by the Nigerian Association of Veterinary Medical Students, ABU Zaria, 2012. And these are a few of her interests. She's a keen sportswoman who enjoys horse riding and other outdoor activities, such as lawn tennis, badminton, and basketball. She also loves traveling. She's affiliated to professional organizations, and they include the NVMA, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, American Association of Zoo Veterinarians, International Union Against Tuberculosis and Lung Disease, World Association for the Advancement of Veterinary Parasitology, British Society for Animal Scientists. She was voted into the Veterinary Council in 2008 as an elected member when she served in many committees such as F and GPC, investigating, and so many more. She has also just been elected again into the Veterinary Council of Nigeria with the highest votes ever. She is doing extensive work in wildlife capture projects in the country and also training veterinarians in wildlife chemical immobilization. She has completed her fellowship program at the College of Veterinary Surgeons, Nigeria, and is awaiting graduation. AIG Aishatu Baju is the mother of 3 beautiful children, Princess Zulaihat, Binta, and Nuruddin. She's happily married to His Majesty, Dr. Shehu Audu Baju II, the Emir of Mambila, who is also a veterinarian. I think I forgot something was missed. She's presently the Monitor General in her, there's, I don't know if you know of NIPS. For you to get in there, I don't even know how to describe it, but for you to see somebody like our guest mentor there, then you know you need a mentor like her in your life. And she's presently the Monitor General and the first female to occupy that position. Permit me to usher in our guest mentor, our mother. You're welcome, Ma, and the floor is yours for the next 25 to 30 minutes. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you so much, Shamsia, for this wonderful job, for your very kind words. And thank you, Fam Alat, for making this possible. Honestly, I keep saying I'm so proud of you guys, what you're doing. You are really doing a great job in the veterinary profession. It's only God that can bless all of you, Femi and his very vibrant team. Good afternoon, my fellow, my dear students, I don't want to say fellow. Well, I can say fellow because already Shamsia has told you that I'm also a student. So currently I'm studying. I'm also a student at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, which is the highest policy making institution. So I can comfortably call you my fellow students. It is a great privilege for me to speak to you this afternoon, mentoring, about leadership, and so on and so forth. Is going to be more of interactive. However, we also need to understand what is it that we mean by mentoring. Is it just about coming once in a while to speak on Zoom or to come and speak in a conference and say we are mentoring? What does it mean to mentor? Because if it is once in a lifetime, like I just show up on the platform today on this Zoom meeting and then mentor you once and go, and I don't really think that is mentoring. Maybe that's just advice, one advice at a time. Mentoring is actually beyond that. It is a guidance generally provided by a mentor, especially an experienced person in a particular either company, a profession, and so on and so forth. It is usually mutually beneficial to the professional relationship in which an experienced individual who is now the mentor and impacts knowledge and wisdom. So it's not just about knowledge and wisdom to a less experienced person who we now call the mentee. So in this case, as I'm being introduced, mentor, yes, we keep mentoring, but it's not a one-off thing. So why now you simultaneously learn from your mentor? Because as we grow, you encounter problems, you encounter pitfalls, challenges, and so on and so forth. So that's the main essence of mentoring, so that we, or the experienced one now, guide and share experiences professionally and then with wisdom, that those pitfalls that we, the elders, have passed through, we will now guide you to avoid them or how to handle them when it happens. Challenges in life is actually part of life. So why do we mentor? We teach. Mentoring is to teach about the profession, as I said, to prevent you from making the same professional mistakes in life, and also share ideas. It doesn't mean because I've been out there on the field for like close to 27 years or thereabout, it doesn't mean that I cannot also learn for you. This is a digital age. Can see Shamsia now is busy. There are so many things they are doing with technology, as in mentoring, direction, training, for support and everything. So these are the things I'm talking about. Trying to direct, trying to inspire, trying to share experiences of all those hurdles that you have passed through as a mentor to your mentee, so that they'll be able to understand and avoid or know how to handle those common pitfalls that you have passed through. So that's basically and it can be one-on-one. Like I'm here, you can have my phone and call me, you want me to mentor you. It's one-on-one, yes, you can approach your mentor. It can be situational, just like now, Femi, Farm Alan has come up, or there's need for me to speak to you on mentoring, on leadership qualities, and so on and so forth. And so it could be situational. Only there's a situation, professional situations, and you need mentoring. Yeah, like Shamsia said, I love wildlife. I've done a lot of work on wildlife, and you are interested in wildlife. You now come up and say, oh, there's a situation on wildlife. I want you to share your experience. So that is a situational mentoring. And there's the reverse mention reversal. This one we share experience and the other. And there's also group-based. I think that is what we're doing today. Group-based, talking to students, mentor them on some of those things, on how to prepare yourself for the field. And then there's peer-based, among your peers. So you talk to each other, you mentor each other about common things. So it's like, just like what you're seeing on the screen that Shamsia is sharing, the mentoring involves training. You give support to the young ones that are coming, or the less experienced person that is coming up in that profession or in that company or in whatever it is. And then you now, of course, there will be success. You have a goal, you'll be motivated. So those are some of the issues. So when you want to look at, yes, as students, as you are coming, even as students, I know a lot of you know your passion. You know, at the end of the day, you know your strength, you know your weaknesses. If you're asked to do a SWOT analysis on yourself, to say, come up, analyze yourself. You look at your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities and threats. So you come up and say, oh, you know for sure by the time you graduate as a vet, you are going to be a small animal practitioner, for instance. Or I'm going to be a large animal practitioner. Or I'm going to be a lecturer. I'm going into the academics. So you know all this. By now, especially those that are in 500, 600 level, by now you are supposed to start thinking, well, you are going to go like Ferry, is combining the veterinary profession and technology. So when you identify the areas the area where you want to specialize, where you think your strength lies, then that's right from then you start looking for a mentor who has high skills, high experience, who has gained experience in that field, that you start following him as your mentor, so that you start guiding you all those steps he has taken. And I keep telling, the last time we have this session with young veterinarians, each time, not just that last one time, each time I have an opportunity to talk to young veterinarians, I always say that there is no shortcut in life. That is always my issue. I'm sure you still remember, since you are now become also a mentee, you said. So yes, ma'am. There is no shortcut in life. When you come, please take time to get a mentor in that area. You cannot just come today and say you start something like Farm Alert. You cannot come out today and say you want to become an AIG. It takes time. Follow somebody that has gained those experience, that you see yourself where he or she is today. That's where you want to be, and you develop that mentor-mentee relationship, so that you get those training, you get those advice, you get those tips that will guide you through the route of where. But when you say there is shortcut, I'm telling you, it is going to be showing very glaring. You, as you are growing up, you don't jump steps. It is one step at a time. So you develop yourself gradually and to become a leader and also a mentor to others. What do you mean by leadership? All those is about influence. I know right from your student life, you have to start developing yourself towards a leadership position. What do I mean by leadership position? Yes, I've said there's no shortcut. But when you come out, when it's in the veterinary profession, in the veterinary space, animal health sector space, when you come out as a veterinarian, you have the veterinary paraprofessionals. So of course you are the lead professional in that sector. And you have to start developing those skills for you to be able to be in those positions as you are growing. What does it take? You should be able to have those ability to influence people, to willingly follow your guidance. You have to map out where you are and the need to win as a team. When you come, some of you will start up maybe with private sector, like you go to Farmerland, for instance. I know they are doing a lot of mentoring programs. And when you get there, all you want to just be on your own. It is a teamwork. Teamwork, that is what will make the success. So when you are developing, you should be able to develop yourself towards working, toward being a team player, that you are able to work effectively in a team. And you have to learn management skills. We are working around the clock in the Veterinary Council of Nigeria to see how we can review to see how we can review the veterinary curriculum, so that we are bringing up veterinarians with leadership skills, veterinarians with entrepreneurial skills, and so on and so forth. They will be able to compete very effectively with the global market. They will be able to fit. They will have their own competencies. So those are those management skills. And when you come, you develop yourself. When you come, develop yourself as an individual. Don't wait for people to develop. Don't wait for people to. Don't wait for the time to say that you are waiting for government or you are waiting for your agency to develop yourself. Keep developing yourself. Even when I went to do my PhD, some people were asking me, what do you need PhD for in police? But I tell you, I keep telling people, I would rather have the education and the training that I don't need than to look for qualifications that I will need in the future for me to occupy certain places. You must have vision and integrity. As a young veterinarian, when you come out, see, your first test, litmus test, is about integrity, honesty, loyalty. Because when you come and you start being on the fast lane, trying to distort, because you think that the next thing is you want to go and open something like Farm Alert, then it becomes a problem. Because you have not learned well, and you want to go and start up on your own. And that is where you start having challenges, because you are not prepared for a particular position and you want to occupy. It doesn't work that way. Every stage of your life needs to be prepared. You need to prepare for it. You need to get adequate capacity for it to occupy. So that will also call you Madam and Mr. Capacity. So, so basically, as students, take advantage of the university, pass through the university and allow the university to pass through you. It is not just about going to school, studying, reading book and understanding anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and so on, and knowing book is not about life. You also need to learn how to live with people. In harmony, you share, know how to share, know how to be innovative, know how to support each other, and so on and so forth. And when you come out, you are already prepared for the field. But what you say also when you're in the university, you just get engrossed. It's just about academics. Life is not about academics. For those that are outside this country, in Europe, in America, they know that skills play a significant role. So there's what we call in police, you don't look. You don't look at those people that you come. People are looking at the microscope. You just, what did you see? They say this, the thing is moving. It's just cycle. You just put your eyes one and go. So don't look, sit down and be part of whatever training program that is given. Because I tell you, veterinary profession is purely a skills profession. If you don't have the skills, you can have all the grammar, all the theories in your head, you cannot succeed. So make sure right from your university, when it is anatomy and you need to look at the muscles, look at them very well, the arteries, the veins. When it's pharmacology, make sure you know the drugs, different classifications, and so on and so forth. When it is surgery, be part of it. Don't be sitting down. Yes, it's a group thing. You have group people. This one has made the incision. This one has sutured. This one has cleaned. And then you are just there. Your name is just appearing on the group. You are just a member by name, but not by participation. When you go out on the field, you come out, you see it is glaringly, it will look at you in the face. Yes, you can write, you can cram, you can read and go and write exams. But those skills that you learn, wet labs, ambulatory programs, you go for vaccination, you should be part and parcel. Equine clinic, you should be part of person. We have seen a veterinarian that came and that was putting the needle, instead of going under down the jugular, he was putting the needles on top, from the top. That shows us that completely he was not part of the practical aspect of veterinary training. And you come out, nobody texts you. And you start saying you don't have a job. For a veterinarian, you always have a job, I tell you. Femi now, the AMD of, I keep giving example because it's my son And I'm so proud of what he's doing. He's not doing government work. Even when they offered him in Kogi State, I tell you, you don't want to say, Mommy, I don't want to work with government. I want to be, and he's doing great. So you don't have to be working with government to excel. No, you don't have to be. As a veterinarian, the training has equipped you. There's so much demand for veterinary services. And it is not just the services. For those, sometimes students attend our continuing education program. For those that have attended last year's continuing education program, I remembered what Dr. Odunton, the MD of AMO Group, the chairman of AMO Group, told us that you don't have to be on the support table, the support chair, that's on the passenger seat, like you are supporting somebody's business. You should be on the driver's seat. Veterinarians can own farms, you can own this, but as I said, one step at a time. Do not be in a rush. Come up, learn, get a mentor right from the university. We are all here. Identify what you want to do. Identify your mentor, someone that has excelled in that field that you have passion for, and keep track on him. Send him messages, establish contacts with him or her. And even as a student, you'll be learning a lot. And by the time you come back, they start thinking, wow, maybe this guy has, have you ever worked before? And he says, no, sir, I've been in the university, not knowing that you already have identified your mentor in that area that you want to see yourself in, and that you are seeing yourself in the path of that senior colleague of yours. So honestly, I look forward to when I will have face-to-face interaction. If it is a conference, your conference, I'll be happy to come around. And please do not hesitate. My number is one of the most popular numbers. I'll be happy to talk to any one of you in areas that you think I have some experience that I can share with you, either in the professional, in the veterinary profession, or in any other endeavors. If you have passion in the police, we can also talk about it. If you have passion in wildlife, we can talk about it. Or if it is just experience, normal experience of life that you want to share, you want us to share, I'll be so glad to do that. I'm free and open. So thank you very much, and I will wait for your questions and interaction.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. That was insightful. It was inspiring, and I hope we've all been able to pick everything, because I don't really like, one or two things. But for me, I think the safest thing to do is to carry everything. So as I said, the NAVMS president and the IVSA president represented by the secretary. This is your program. I'm just going to go behind the curtains and support you from where I can. So you can start dropping your questions in the chat box. Abu Ebenezer, you're going to extract these questions, read it out to our guest mentor, and then she can give answers. And then after that, we can also unmute. You can use the raise hand function, and then we'll ask you to unmute, and then you can see one or two things, your comments, and then just some words of appreciation. So let's get the questions rolling. NAVMS president, I hope you're ready. So let's get the questions rolling.
All right, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, somebody is asking, can you see you can see the questions, right?
Yes, I can see them. I can see the question.
Okay.
So once again, thank you so much, Madam President. It's an honor to have you. Thank you so much for dishing out wisdom to us this afternoon. And quick one, there's a question here. It's saying that about internship for students, or for those who just graduated, what is the Veterinary Council doing about it?
Do you want me to answer one by one, or you want to?
That's the question for now. If there are more questions.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you very much for that question. You could recall that when we came on board, you might not likely be following what the council is doing, but we had interactive. We had we developed roadmaps. We had 8 roadmaps for the veterinary profession, and among our roadmap is the issue of internship. Already, council has approved to start internship. But you know, when you say you want to start, it's not like internship involves a lot of stakeholders, not just the council alone. Yes, council can say, go ahead, we have given approval to start, but we have to come up with modalities. All the stakeholders need to be taken on board, not just government, but also private practitioners, because we have to do a census, we have to give accreditation. We don't want a situation where what is happening with CUS. Some students will just go for ITF, and then they don't show face until when they're about to go, they bring the logbook and they start signing. In fact, I remember some people, they'll come with the entire logbook to my office. They want me to just sign for 3 months. Yes, they'll sit in my office. I can see them, they are writing. They will just be creating cases on their own. So they want you to sign and certify it. You know, those are the issues. So we don't want a replication of what is happening with CIWES. Now, come to think of internship with the human medics. They have a structure that is much more robust than our own. They have established hospitals, teaching hospitals, federal medical centers, and so on and so forth, and even some standard private hospital. So it's not about you just go and sit at home because you know the MD of a particular, or the owner of a particular clinic, you just fill up the logbook and go. We want an experience-based internship. So what we are trying to do is to censor across the federation, come up with a list of VCN accredited veterinary clinics, veterinary hospitals, or whatever, all the veterinary outfits that veterinary students can go on internship. And we sign an MOU that they have all agreed they are taking our young veterinarians on internship as they graduate, just like the human medics are doing. So even if I make a pronouncement, the council makes pronouncement and say, oh, we have approved internship. What is the structure? You cannot work without a framework. You cannot work without the other critical stakeholders. So if all of us sit down and come up with a framework or the modality, already we have established a committee in council that has come up to work on internship alone. Apart from the other 7, I told you we had 8 roadmaps, from job creation, review of veterinary curriculum, regional integration, and so on and so forth, 8 of them. But what I'm saying is that one of them is internship. Council has already, so they have come up with a guideline, with a framework for how we are going to run the internship program. That we know that when students say they are on internship, we know we have responsible veterinarians that are going to be supervising them to ensure that they are getting the required experience, and that it is a functional clinic, not just a small batch somewhere that you cannot even call a hospital, and they say they have done internship under one small shop inside markets. So we want doctors to go and have experience, just like you see your colleagues in hospitals, they are interns, they are doing internship, they are doing houseman job, and so on and so forth. So that you know, by the time you come out, you have gained that experience that is expected of you. First, because it is going also to improve your level of, expose you more to the field, so that by the time you finish your internship, you go to the field, you are much more adequately qualified. You have gained those skills. All those small gaps that you're coming out with from the university will be covered. So those identified gaps. So that's where we are now with internship. But I can tell you as the president of council, that council has approved internship program. But we need to work on the framework before we can now say, yes, it is now time to start. Otherwise, we just make pronouncement that at the end of the day, it's a replication and then nothing comes out of it. No, it's not for the benefit of anybody, including the profession. So that's where we are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma, for that. Really appreciate. There is somebody raising his hand, but before we give that person the opportunity, for some of us that attended, they just concluded the veterinary continuing education program. That was last week.
Education.
Yes. One of the speakers spoke about the multilateral nature of veterinary medicine, how we can work virtually anywhere. So Absolutely. There is somebody asking about, okay, if I want to join the police force, what are the steps? And then for those of us that want to work with NCDC and the likes, how can we go about it?
Okay, now I might not talk much about NCDC because I don't know their requirements or their the process for their recruitment, but I can tell you that one of the police. The one of the police, normally we don't do selective recruitment, like you just take 5 people, 4 people. When police is doing recruitment, it is recruitment. We call it recruitment or enlistment for officers. It is being advertised. When it is advertised in dailies, they specify all the requirements. You apply. So the selection board, and we do it 3 different stages. First stage is at the state level, your own state. You do because of quota system, federal character, and so on and so forth. So we get nominated. They do the screening at the state level. We have different kinds of screening. From first, we look from the filling of the forms, age, this, that, certain requirement. If you don't have, of course, the system is almost similar to the recruit for the recruitment, for the junior, for the rank and file. When we finish, you do screening, then you come to the zonal level and then to the first headquarters level where they do final screening. For us already, we know that you have to be registered. You have to have your current registration certificate by the council. That's your annual practicing license. You have to have your DVM and so on and so forth. So that's just it. But to be honest, I know that now for about a couple of years now, about 5 years or more, we have not really done any recruitment because we are having challenges at the moment. For the general duty policemen, they have the police academy in Woodhill, where they are training. It has now been turned, instead of normal 18 months for graduates, they go there to train 18 months and come out as officers. Now we have a degree running program in the university. So they send children from secondary school, they go and do 3 to 4 years, 4 to 5 years degree program at the police academy. And they come out with 1 star. So now that has now hindered the continued, because normally once they advertise for the general recruitment of officers, they advertise also including the specialists, veterinarians, human medics, engineers for works department, and so on and so forth. But now that has affected, but we are trying to make a case that because the police academy does not do veterinary medicine, do not run veterinary medicine, they do not do human medicine, there is no engineering, and so on and so forth. So in that case, we have to have a special promotion just for the specialized services of the force. So I'm sure soon we'll be able to advertise. So all you need to do is just look at the online is going to be advertised, it's public, there's nothing secretive. For the NCDC, I think it's the normal recruitment process. I don't want to go into what I don't understand, but I know that also in this NCDC, there are people that are there on deployment for their various organizations. They are sent to NCDC and they also do their own recruitment. But I think it's the normal civil service recruitment process for the NCDC. Thank you.
All right, Ma. Thank you so much, Madam President, for doing so far. So I will just give those that raised their hand up. Oyele, a blessing. You can quickly unmute and then ask your question. You have just 30 seconds. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. And thank you so much, Ma, for the wonderful session. My name is Blessing Oyele, and I'm from University of Abuja.
Put on your video so I can see your face.
Oh my God. Okay.
Except if it's going to affect your network.
Yeah, I'm in a very rowdy environment.
No problem. Then go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. Yeah. Okay, like I said, my name is Blessing Oyele from University of Abuja. Okay. Ma, talking about mentorship, we see that many secondary school students are not aware of veterinary medicine. In fact, most people get to know about veterinary medicine as a course of study, probably when they come to the university and they applied for pharmacy or human medicine and they got rejected, and then the university is offering vet medicine as a fallback grant for them. So I want to ask, is there a way that veterinary studies, maybe basic or introductory aspects, can be inculcated into secondary school curriculum so that more students will be aware of the course of study? Thank you, Ma.
Thank you very much. You know, this sensitization that we're talking about, or awareness campaign, I think it's also up to us as veterinarians. Even you as students, NAVMS, you can do it as part of your, when you are doing Vet Week, even at the AVMS, NAVMS, you can inculcate it. You see, you have to make deliberate effort, you too. Sometimes during your Vet Week, during your congresses and so on and so forth, you just organize yourselves and say you are doing visiting schools around your environment to go and just talk to them about veterinary medicine. Go in your crossroad, go in your lab courts, put on your stethoscope, inspire the young ones. You don't have to wait for Ministry of Education. That is not within the purview of, it's like going to go and start telling the Minister of Education to review the entire curriculum to include awareness about veterinary medicine. I don't think that is the way forward, because it is a very cumbersome program. Then by the time you do that and the federal government makes announcement that just for veterinary medicine, veterinary profession, they want to include sensitization or awareness for secondary school children to learn about. What about the other profession? As a profession, we are supposed to do our own campaigns, our own awareness campaigns. You start with the AVMS, start with the NAVMS, start with NVMA, yes, NVMA state chapters. All the chairmen, when you are doing your meetings, set aside as a community outreach, go out to secondary school, we are veterinarian. Let me tell you, on my own part, what I have done. Every year when we're doing police week, police game, and so on and so on, what we used to include career week, career day or something, go to second. And most of the time you see me making sure that I have my veterinarians, they will dress up in their scrub suit, they will dress up in their lab coat. In fact, we will go with our police horses, we will go with police dogs. And I tell you, among all the professions that are in the police, because what the idea is, it is not just for veterinarians, but it is generally for the Nigerian police to do a career day and talk to children in schools about policing. That when in the Nigerian police, there are all sorts of professionals in the Nigerian police, that they have veterinary doctors, they have human doctors, they have pilots, we have engineers. So everybody dresses in their professional attire. So just to tell the children in school that being a policeman does not necessarily mean that they didn't go to school, that we have all sorts of professionals within the police. So me, as the head of that section, I go an extra mile to make sure I showcase the veterinary profession very well. And then we go with the horses, that they are police horses, they are police. So you can be a veterinary doctor and join the Nigerian police and look after the police with the first animals. And I tell you, among all the professionals, usually the most popular is the first animal branch. The most popular. Because when they go, the children will not talk to anybody. They want to touch the horse. Can I touch the horse? Oh, does this dog bite? Oh, they are scared. No, we'll talk to you about dogs. So it comes to that. So you don't have to wait for Ministry of Education. Now we are talking. As the young veterinarians, it is your responsibility. You have seen the gap from your schools. You are doing vet week. Organize one day as a career. If all the 10, 11 faculties of veterinary medicine across the federation, every year or every time, even if there's no vet week, you just come out and say, today, ABMS, ABMS, University of Abuja, they are going to Gwagwalada Secondary School, Abuja, and talk to them about veterinary medicine. Dress up. Children want to see. You see, let me tell you, when they do career day in school, my daughter is always a star. You know what she does? In fact, I wish if I had known this, I would have shared some pictures on the. Every day, she dresses like a police officer. So from the gate, you see a security man, morning, ma. So this last one she wore, and she was an AIG. In fact, when they designed a cup for her and say, Officers Lehat. Even my other daughter that is 9, that's what they do. So we as professionals, we make daily, and let me tell you, you have more stake. You have more opportunities to sensitize the public, sensitize schools, and talk to them. The children, they wake up tomorrow. When they go to the university, they say, I want to read veterinary medicine. So it is your responsibility. Not that I have to go to, council has to go to Ministry of Education to say, include a curriculum, subject that will sensitize. So in fact, you've given me an opportunity to challenge all of you that you should go ahead and publicize veterinary medicine. They see you as young men. Oh, this young girl, young boy, look at them. They are doctors. Why are you are veterinary doctors? And you tell them about veterinary medicine. You tell them all the beautiful things, that we're in charge of your food security, that you do all the eggs you eat in the morning. It is being produced in the poultry, that you eat, you like chicken. There's so many ways you can do it. Please go out there and sensitize young children.
Thank you so much, Madam President. We still
Thank
have...
you. President, NABMS, this is your assignment.
All right, ma. Yes, ma. We'll take note of that now, ma.
Thank you.
Ma. So before we give 1 or 2 persons the floor to speak, that's those raising their hands, there's a question here regarding now for some of us our vet students, we are a bit worried about quackery in the profession, how some persons can just do whatsoever thing they like. And somebody's also asking about the salary differences with our human counterparts. And they're asking, what is the council going to do about this? I know that you've been saying that for us as students, we have a role to play, but regarding these key issues, what has the council done about that? Because for us, we are worried prior to our graduation.
Don't be worried. What we both can be, you still carry on ahead. But you see, this issue of salary, we have been working on it. Okay, let me go to quackery now. Quackery is not only in veterinary medicine that you have quacks in the veterinary profession, even in the human medics. I'm sure you must have been seeing news here and there about quacks taking over profession. Engineers, you go and see all these buildings that are collapsing. It's quackery because they didn't do good foundation. They didn't put maybe if they are supposed to put 1 bag or 2 bags of cement, they'll put half a bag of cement. It's all part of quackery. So quackery is all over. But then as council also, we are working very hard to fight quackery. And that is why personally, I went around some of these states. I went to the southwest. We went to the south, we went to the northeast, we went to northwest, and now we are going state by state to inaugurate the Veterinary Practice Premises Committee. And I started with the responsibility of fighting quackery, closing down in conjunction with council, on behalf of council, closing down all illegal veterinary outfits or registered veterinary outfits, making sure we get all the quacks and so on and so forth. And another thing that we are about to do is launch. In fact, I just don't want to mention it because I've mentioned it a couple of times and it has not come to pass. But Femi can bear me witness right now as I'm talking. He told me he has started producing. What we are done is that we are now doing what we call National Veterinary License, which looks just like your driver's license. Femi, maybe they can flag it on the screen if he has it available. on his system, he can just flash it. We call it the National Veterinary License. It has a barcode. It has a QR number that you can scan to identify whether it's a registered vet, whether his license has expired. And that one we're also including the veterinary paraprofessional because they are part of it. And let me tell you, as you're coming on the field, I want to let you know that the animal health industry is not only meant for veterinarians. There are other professionals, and we have to learn to accommodate everyone, because that is what is even some of the causes of this quackery. We have the veterinary paraprofessionals, animal health technologies, and so on and so forth. I keep giving an example. You go to a hospital, from the gate when you enter the hospital, human health hospital, you are sick or you take somebody sick. You will have, by the time you are leaving that hospital, whatever takes you there, you will have seen about 5 to 6 professionals, from the medical record people, they record, to the nurses, they register, they take your vital parameters and forward your file, to the doctor himself, to back to the nurses maybe for injection and dressing of your wounds, to the laboratory, medical laboratory technologies, from the pharmacist that is there that will dispense your drug, the radiographer that is there to take your X-ray and return the result to the doctor, ultrasonograph, and so on and so forth. But in our own, we want to do everything. As a vet, you want to do fumigation. You want the surgery. You will be the one to shave. You will do the one to do the anesthetist. You are the surgeon. You are the flunky. You are everything. You will be the one to clean your table. You will be the one to bath the dog. You would be the one. For God's sake, you are a doctor. That is why the system, the structure is in such a way that we have the attendant, the veterinary attendant in there to clean. We have the veterinary technologist who is like a veterinary nurse. We have the veterinary medical technologists and so on and so forth. When you involve them, when we include them, we give them responsibility and come and say, you cannot go beyond this. But when you say you want to do everything and you say they are quacks, they also have their own level of training. So let's carry everybody along, and that's why we are now having this ID. The ID will also cover the veterinary paraprofessional and the veterinarians. You are not registered, we close down your. This one, NAVMS president.
I can hear you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Can you see what is on the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you see what is on the screen? Thank you. And I'm sure your colleagues too are seeing what is on the screen. That is what we are going. In fact, the launching will have happened Wednesday, Thursday, when we're supposed to have a council meeting, but we have some administrative issues that we wouldn't do the launching. So this is what we want to launch as the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. That's the National Veterinary License. And we will follow that with a lot of sensitization, sensitizing the public. Know your vet by his National Veterinary License. If you have a vet, if you engage a vet, let him present to you his veterinary license. And that QR code that you are seeing, you can scan it with your phone, and it will give you the information of that vet, that is registered, his license will expire on this date, and all the information that you need. And that you will be able to contact the council if there's any fraud. Are you getting me? So these are some of the steps we are taking as council to checkmate quackery. And we have also now introduced, the council has now introduced what we call the Veterinary Seal. I'm sure by the time you come back onto the field, you come into the field, you will see that we have a Veterinary Seal, just like what the lawyers have. We will not recognize any veterinary document signed by a veterinarian without his seal. So when you sign, you put your seal. Check with the lawyers, you see their seal. Check with the architects, you see their seal. It is that seal that makes it authentic, that this vaccination certificate is signed by a vet, and this is his seal, and his seal is personalized, it has his VCN number. So if you go to a quack and there is no seal and you allow him to handle your animal, then you are the one, because we'll keep sensitizing that what identifies you is first, he must show you his National Veterinary ID card license. And if he signs either an export permit or a veterinary medical certificate, he must now append his seal, put his seal onto it and sign. It has his VCN number. And then we also, as I said, we have inaugurated virtually most of the state. Last week or so, we inaugurated the FCT. We have done Lagos State. We have done Oyo. All the states are now inaugurating their veterinary practice premises committee. So that's now on the screen is the Veterinary Council of Nigeria seal. So this is the seal. So every veterinarian must have his seal. What makes it authentic, whatever you sign, otherwise we'll say he's not a veterinarian, is that you have signed, you have collected your seal. So when you give a veterinary certificate, vaccination certificate, put your seal on it, that is what makes it authentic. If you don't have it, you are not a vet. And you cannot have it if you are not a vet. You must have it, because you can see this is my own now. Aishatu Abubakar, veterinary VCN number, you see it there, and you see the seal of the council. So these are the steps, some of the steps we are taking to fight quackery. But I'm telling you that it is not only in the veterinary profession that we have quackery. In all the professions, they have quacks. But how they deal with them is what is it. And we also have, as the AIG in charge, all the veterinary doctors are under, they are all spread around most of the states. Very few states that we don't have the vet. So the police officers, veterinary police officers that are in the state form part of the veterinary practice premises. And we have given directives to all the commissioners of police to work hand in hand and give them full enforcement and support. Wherever we find an illegal veterinary outfit, let them go all out and seal that premises. So, and we have seen some. I'm sure it has been trending on the veterinary platforms, like about a month ago or so. But we are going all out after them. And as your president, who is an assistant inspector general of police, we have full support of the Nigerian police in all the states. All I need to do is to send a signal to the commissioner of police. Veterinary practice premises are going all out. Today we are going to seal, and they will go with full police support to seal illegal veterinary practice. So those are some of the steps that Veterinary Council of Nigeria has taken or is taking to fight quackery. Then about salary, in those days, veterinarians used to earn more than human medics. It was when they came to start fight, then they now came and say, oh, we should do parity. The parity was veterinarians were above, and then we did the parity. I think we have not really been that proactive. And honestly, to be honest with you, we know that, yes, as veterinarians, our services are also essential. But they can sometimes, the threat that the human medics give them also count. Oh, we are shutting down all you know that your brother is in the hospital, they say they have shut down, the doctors are on strike, and they go and fight. We have been stepping up. In fact, as I'm talking to you now, the former president, NVMA, just walked in, Dr. Ado, one of my sons. We have I went with him to the Salaries and Wages Commission, and we're working with them to see that we have our own standardized, instead of saying parity. We should come up, because there are a lot of other hazards that we're also facing, like those of us that are doing wildlife. I work with lions, I work with elephants. So the hazard is not going to be the same with when it comes to those hazards that we're exposing ourselves, and then the hazard of zoonosis. So we should be able to come with a structure that is for the veterinarians. So when we are deliberating, we now might, but because these medics, sometimes when they are pursuing a review of their salaries, before you know it, they go and do their thing. We just hear. Not that we are sleeping, but certain things happen. You can't be everywhere every time. But I can assure you that the NVMA, the Veterinary Council of Nigeria, and the ministry are also working hand in hand. Once we hear this, we go ahead and make sure that whatever that is being structured, since it is from us, they took that parity, that it was us that they uplifted themselves to equate us. When they are moving, we must be given equal benefits. And in the first, Nigerian police is the same thing we are doing. Once there's a review of medical salary, automatically they don't even need to be told. They will activate all of us and we'll all get it. But different, see where we sealed. Thank you, Femi, for all these pictures. I hope NAVMS president, you are seeing sealed by the Veterinary Council of Nigeria. You can see a policeman there. standing, and then the place was sealed. It was in Enugu. We sealed a lot of, and I'm telling you, some of them was a veterinarian that never paid her registration practices, and they sealed it. She ran. In fact, that day I was out of the country. They were calling me that it was only me that can talk to the officer that you see there, CSP George, because he refused to listen to anybody. He said he's sealed, and they were looking for me all over the place. The lady ran from I think she's a paraprofessional. It's her outfit. She ran from Enugu to come to Veterinary Council and to pay all her dues for all the years that she did not pay. So it's not as if we are not working, but Nigeria is huge, and there are only, I don't think we have up to 3,000, 5,000 active veterinarians in the market. So there is also high demand in the market, and we need to cover. We are waiting for all of you to come and fill up the space. He said, well, there is no vacuum in life. Okay, they say nature abhors vacuum. So that's how it is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. So we'll give one person the last opportunity to just talk. That's those that rose their hands up. So Morayo Bukoye, can you quickly just 30 seconds? Let's have what you want to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm Bukoye Morayo from University of Ilorin. Okay, so my first question, ma'am, is on anti-rabies vaccine. Is there a way the Veterinary Council of Nigeria?
Can we have, Mariah, can we have your camera on, please? Let's see your face. Thank you.
Aha, you see that? You're a beautiful lady. Why are you?
This is better.
Thank you, ma. Yes, ma.
All right,
so
good. So you say what vaccine?
On anti-rabies vaccine, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma. So the question is that, is there a way the Veterinary Council of Nigeria can mandate it for the universities, the veterinary university, to administer anti-rabies vaccines to students, especially the clinical students, due to the exposures, due to the way we are exposed to animal on the clinic floor, like 600 level, we are always meant to be on the clinic floor. And there are a lot of exposure. So most of the dogs, like the dogs that comes in, there are some that no vaccination history, some they are not vaccinated, and there are a lot of exposure there. So basically, in my school, there is always anti-rabies vaccination for clinical students. But for some times now, that has stopped. So is there a way the Veterinary Council can mandate it for other universities to make it mandatory for clinical students? So that's my first question. Then my second question, ma, is that as a veterinarian that wants to be employed, like enlisted in the force, probably Nigeria Army, Navy, or Air Force. So as a veterinarian, what are your duties?
Want police. Go ahead, I'm listening to you. Yes,
so
go
what
ahead.
are the duties of the veterinarian? Is it just like roles of veterinarian, or there will be administrative duties or other responsibility like a normal military man? Or it's just my specialty that I'll be dealing with? Thank you, ma.
Okay, thank you very much. On the anti-rabies vaccine, it honestly is a big concern. The issue the struggles we're having is that, to be honest, the universities themselves are struggling. There's paucity of funds. What will really help us is that we are working seriously on the veterinary teaching hospital bill. I think until we get that out, we might not likely get, because you see, all our the teaching hospitals, human teaching hospitals, they are established by law. There is really no law establishing the veterinary teaching hospital, and that is why they depend on the funds from the university. So, and the university also is also struggling. So sometimes they even struggle to even conduct wet labs. Am I telling the truth?
Yes,
they even have to contribute. They even have to contribute to buy the animals for wet labs and the drugs, and so it's a very, very pathetic and difficult time. So because the little money that the university gives the faculty or the VTH is not something to write home. They cannot even buy drugs. They cannot run programs. see another way coming out, whether collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Health. For me, in the police, what I normally do, we do it together with my CP Medical or AIG Medical. That's in the human medic, the guy in charge of the human medic. So we work in collaboration with him through the Federal Ministry of Health, and then we write to them to say, look, our officers are working with dogs and animals, and they run the risk of getting zoonotic disease such as rabies, blah, 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 blah. We do some write-up. And we say, in view of this, can you please support the Nigerian police with pre-exposure vaccines against rabies? And there was a time, in fact, they gave us large number. We distributed to all our, not just the police, sorry, I'm having distractions, sorry. Hey, go, I'm having a meeting, go, quickly, sorry. Just distractions, like, mothers will always have this. So not just the veterinary doctors, but we're also dealing with our dog handlers, because the dog handlers that go on patrol with the dogs, they are also handling the dogs. So we need to also vaccinate them. So I think, honestly, now that you have also I want to look at it from the council point of view with the investors to see maybe as a council, if you can approach the Federal Ministry of Health to see how we can work together. Let's say annually, we say, okay, these are the number of final year veterinary students that we have from all our institutions, and that they run the risk of, because they are always in contact, can you please help and be giving us? I know the government, if they want, we can work around and we can be including it in their budget, as part of their budget to be given from the public health department. So I think I can assure you that I'm going to raise it up with the council. Femi, can you hear me?
Yes, Madam Capacity.
Okay, Femi, please, I want us to come up with a memo next council meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Collaborating with the Federal Ministry of Health to get vaccines for clinical students, pre-exposure vaccines.
Noted, Madam President.
Thank you. So coming to the issue of military, they have not mentioned police, no problem. I am not angry. You are all together. We are all together in the spirit. Just hold on a second, please. Sorry, I have some children around that came on and they are just running around. It's weekend now. So we are all together, the military and police, esprit de corps. We are together. I would love to see you as a general in the Nigerian Army. So come to think about duties. Well, primarily, when you are being employed or enlisted into commission into the Nigerian Army or any of the armed forces or the Nigeria police, is that primarily they recruit you or they enlist you as a veterinary officer. So you have your primary responsibility of taking care of their animal section. But however, an officer is an officer. You go through trainings, you go through all the rigors of the training as an officer. And I can tell you can do any of the works. You attend courses. You might not have some of the opportunities maybe of working somewhere, but I can tell you that when work come to work, you all work together. And the dogs and for us in the police that have horses, the other services don't have. All these are operational animals. So what it means by operation, they go on operation. You cannot sit at home and not be part of the operation. So if there's a riot, for instance, and there are dogs or horses are going to quell riot, are you going to sit at home? So you're going to be part of it. And also, as an officer, your superior officer can give you any responsibility. There are times election duties, you'll be drafted to go for another assignment. You can go for peacekeeping operation. You can go for so many other things. So you are not going to be restricted as an officer to say, oh, you cannot be given certain responsibility simply because you are a professional. But of course, we know that your core duties, why you are being employed, is because of these animals. I hope I've answered your question also.
Thank you very much.
My colleague SB, they call the military officer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Madam President. There's a question here that talks about the harmonization of the veterinary curriculum. You know, there are some veterinary schools that theirs is a college, while some they are operating as a faculty, so they are obliged to follow the school calendar. So I don't know if there's a way whereby it can be harmonized. And then talking about extracurricular activities, you made mention that as vet students, it's not just about the anatomy, the physiology, the pathology, that we need to start building our leadership qualities right from the campus. So what were the things you were involved in? Were you involved in the school politics, AVMS politics, and the likes?
Thank you very much. About veterinary curriculum. See, you know, I mentioned the issue of our roadmap. One of the roadmaps, as I told you, is a review of veterinary curriculum, so that we can have OIE standards, and you have all the day one competencies. And we want to see regional collaboration, because you remember the last continuing education when we were talking about the multilateralism of veterinary profession. And you remember the lectures given by Dr. Mrs. Iwa, when she talked about all the vast opportunities that you find within the West African sub-region. So we want a situation whereby we have this collaboration, we have this working together within the West African sub-region, that we have a harmonized curriculum whereby we know the standard. So you can actually walk Mali, but I mean, you can walk around, you can just drive, you can just fly to Mali, and that we have a standardized curriculum, and you can actually pick up, do the work there comfortably without anybody asking anything. As the issue of college, whether it's a college or a faculty, I don't think that because it is a college of veterinary medicine, that means that the curriculum in that university or the standard is different. Whether it is called a faculty or it is a college, the issue is we should be worried about is the curriculum. Veterinary curriculum is the same, because the veterinary curriculum is being guided by the Veterinary Council of Nigeria and Nigerian Universities Commission. We are working, we are the ones working, we give the nice, we regulate veterinary profession in Nigeria. And there's only one regulatory agency, which is the VCN. And I don't see us having a different veterinary curriculum because it is a college of veterinary medicine, and another different curriculum because it is a faculty. I think where we are having is just nomenclature. Some of these faculties are found in the university. There's faculty, they run a faculty system. So it's a faculty of veterinary medicine. Some of them are found in the federal colleges of education. And in federal colleges of education, they don't call them faculties, they call them colleges. College of Veterinary Medicine, College of this, College of that, College of that. I think it's just nomenclature. It has nothing to do with veterinary curriculum. The curriculum is being regulated by the same body. So nobody is going to run his own different curriculum, contrary to what is approved by the Veterinary Council of Nigeria or the Nigerian Universities Commission. So it's just nomenclature. Then the issue of politics. I'm a politician who asked them, those that went to ABU, those that know me. I have, during my days as a student, I participated actively in AVMS, NVMA activities. Nothing happens without us. We are always there. We go for congresses and so on and so forth. And immediately I also graduated. I have been part of NVMA politics, council politics. You always find me wherever there is progress. It's just in an effort to improve the veterinary profession. So I did active politics. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam President. We are really grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough. There are so many other questions, but because of time, we'll just have to stop the interactive sessions now. So thank you so much, ma. Over to you, Dr. Tomsia. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much, ma'am. For me, it has been an insightful and informative session. I enjoyed myself through the entire session, and I hope each and every one of you here enjoyed it too. So our mother here said something, and it resonated so well with me, because about asking the Ministry of Education to include veterinary-related subjects in secondary schools. No, there's something, there is this thing people say now, is this Sorosoke? You speak up. My son is 7-year-old and the second is 4. They know I am a vet and they know what I do. They brought an animal into our estate and they saw one that had an injury. They said, let me go and call my mom. She can make it feel better. So they know what I do and they tell their friends. I was called to their school because they saw the title doctor and they thought I was a medical doctor. The proprietress reached out to me. She said, please, okay, Eto, children don't really know veterinary medicine. Can you just talk about the medicine in general? I said, no, don't worry. They will know about veterinary medicine today. So it is saddled upon us to do what we need to do. Nobody's going to do that for you. And then you don't expect anybody to do your work. Do it yourself. It adds up. It makes a lot of sense. My children know I'm a vet and they know what I do. And they tell people what I do. When they see animals, they say, Mommy, are you going to give this one injection? The other one say, no, it looks better. You don't need to inject it. You know, my last baby now will tell me, Mommy, he knows how to use the tablet introducer to deworm our cat in the house. He knows how to do that. So please, as students, I think you should incorporate that in your annual veterinary week. And also somebody talked about, I saw a question, somebody talked about veterinary nurses, if there is a platform. If I'm not mistaken, I think MVRI has either graduated its first set or they're about to graduate, but specifically, I think veterinary nurses and technologists. And another question came up in this session. Somebody said, ma'am, that your husband is a vet. They want to know, did you meet him in school? I think this is like on a lighter note. They said they want to know.
I never met him in school. By the time I went to vet, he has left veterinary school long time ago.
So I guess the person has his answer now. And another question came about FAO and OIE. I don't know if you were able to attend, if you're interested in working with these multilateral organizations, what are the steps you're supposed to take? I don't know if you attended the last continuing education, but if you didn't, please, Ebenezer or the IVSA president can give you my number. I can share documents.
Yes.
The presentation from the one from FAO. And then we also had, yes, Dr. Fashina. And then we also had a presentation from Dr. Their names are mixing up. So I could share those two documents. Yes, Dr. Vivian Iwa. So I could share these two documents with you and you can, I'm sure it will guide you. So thank you very much, ma'am. It's been long, but we can still just say one or two things. So I know we've all heard of Farmalad, just an announcement. We have the Farmalad Radio, which is a platform in and around animal, which is a platform used to enlighten farmers and stakeholders in the animal health space. So your students, I'm sure you have a lot of ideas you're brewing, you want to share with people. So this is a platform for you. It's an online radio platform. You can reach out to me if you have a show you can curate to help us enlighten the farmers, veterinarians, pet owners, and the likes of it. We also have the Farmalad Wholesale, which is situated in Abuja, but we can deliver to any state in the country. Follow us on all our social media platforms, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All you have to do is just type Farmalad so you can stay updated with all of our activities. Thank you so much for sparing our time to be here today. And we're going to have the same session with a different guest mentor this next month. So have a nice day. Madam Capacity, thank you so much for honoring our invitation to be here with our students. NABMS president, thank you. Yes, thank you for pulling this through. Trust me, I couldn't do this as a student. You guys actually inspire me, like veterinary students these days. When I see what you guys do, you inspire me every time. I was telling my mom yesterday, I said, I can't stand close to you guys as a graduate, but I think now I can. But as a graduate and where you are now, I don't think I can. So you guys are all doing amazingly well. Keep doing the good work that you do. IVSA, thank you so much. And Let's all stay together. Let's be part of a growing community. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.